A year ago, I was a survivor in the Las Vegas shooting. I think my biggest thing is when we were talking about doing this was that I just didn't want to come across as I'm representing, fellow survivors. Like, it's not about that. I'm only speaking on my journey. Like, I have no right to speak on anybody else's journey. And so I guess that's just been my fear. Like, I just don't want people to think, oh, well, she thinks that she, knows my experience. No, I don't. I don't know anybody else's experience. The last year has been a journey. It started under this huge cloud of fog, of constant changing emotions and not knowing what every day brings. And then that fog lifts and you begin to realize a really harsh reality that life goes on. And accepting that is not easy. And you have to process through that and learn how to live under a new normal. And that's where I'm at. And my recovery has been interesting. I think the biggest thing is being allowed the time to heal, allowed the time to process. And I lost a lot of friends along the way because they didn't understand the process of healing. And they had their own timelines when I should be done reveling over the situation. And I was told often, it's time to just move on. Move on, get over it, you're fine, you're safe, all is well. But I had to have the time to process, I had to have the time to understand, I had to have the time to really move forward. And I never have been on this kind of journey, and so it's a learning experience for myself and everyone around me. Well, leading up to the anniversary, Jason Aldean was actually playing near my hometown, and I decided that I was going to make an attempt to go to the concert. In preparation for that, I actually went to a concert the night before, had an amazing time, cried tears of joy because I could reclaim live music and the love of it again. So the next day I was excited, I was ready for Jason Aldean. I met up with a couple of survivors, we went together, and we got separated at the beginning of the concert. And I had the honor of meeting one of our Angels family members and was talking to them. And that triggered something in me and sent me kind of on a downward spiral. I spent the rest of the concert crying. I made it through When She Calls Me Baby and Any Old Bar Stool, crying hysterically, but I made it through and spent the rest of the concert out on the lawn. Met some amazing survivors. We shared stories, shared tears, shared hugs. But I still didn't feel like I finished what we started a year ago. And on the actual day of the anniversary, I wanted to make the trip to Vegas. A number of survivors were getting together and they were going to walk the venue of the shooting. And I wanted to be there. But instead, I realized that this last year, the relationships with my family and with my kids had become strained because of my disconnection, because of my emotions, my kids felt like they were getting left in the dust. So I gathered my kids and we went and had dinner at KFC together, and we shared some tears, but most of all we shared laughter. And I honestly couldn't think of a better way to spend that day. Even, I have some friends that are still struggling, like really struggling. Like there's a number of survivors that still can't go to concerts, that, have turned away from the country community. And it's hard to watch, because I'm on the other side of that now, for the most part. And so you feel like, come on guys, come on, you can do it, but you have to remember it's their journey, not mine, and in their time they'll get there, and just allowing them that time. And it's funny because the first time I felt that, then I was like, come on, you should be okay by now. I was like, oh, there it is. I'm doing the exact same thing that everybody else has done to me. Okay, so it's not, and that was when I finally could let go of the anger at people that kept telling me, you need to get over this, because you just see them and you love them and you want their hurt to go away. And so you try to like, okay, you can do this. But again, you can't fix somebody, and as much as you want to. And so, yeah, that day I remember I was like, oh, right. I just did exactly what I got mad at multiple people for doing. And so, the self-realizations along this process are pretty interesting. The future for me is a blank slate, honestly. I don't know where I see myself in 5-10 years. I've learned to live in today. I have goals of going back to school, finishing my degree. But as far as career is concerned, as far as where I plan to live, things like that, it's kind of exciting that I don't know. And I think the idea that life is so short and it's so uncertain has made it easier for me to focus on the here and the now. And so yes, again, I have goals and I have aspirations, but life throws you curveballs. And so I don't live in certainties anymore. I just live every day as it comes. This experience, I don't know if it's made me stronger or weaker. I think it has helped me to understand myself better. In the process, I have strengthened relationships with my family. Even through treacherous times where at the beginning they didn't understand what was going on, they didn't know how to help. I have moved in with my sister and am now a nanny for her 2 beautiful children. And that allowed me to think of others rather than just myself. And it helped get me out of my own head. It gave me something to focus on. It helped show me that I am truly someone who loves caring for others, which is great moving forward in a future career, in my life in general. It has made me understand that even in the darkest of days, I can come out of it. I can see the light again, that I can move forward, and that I can see the good in the world again.